Okay, so you want to improve the practice. You bring in a fancy, expensive consultant, and they tell you to do this, and it just doesn't sound right. I think many of us have been in that situation. Hey, I'm Dr. Richard Madow. Welcome to the next episode of the Dental Practice Fixers podcast.
And I'm Dr. David Madow. We have a great question, which I'm going to read in just a second. Before I do, real quickly, you may want to check out our masterclass schedule. We've got a great class coming up on Saturday, October 26th. And in case you're watching this way into the future, I just want to make sure it's very clear, 2019. Simply go to, in case you're watching this in the year 2025, it already passed. But if you're watching
the year 25,
that's way on. I hope we're still doing podcasts then, Rich. But just check out our masterclass schedule. It's a great day. Go to masterclass.madow.com. We really hope to see you. Rich and I will both be at all masterclasses along with our coaching staff. Hope to see you there. Let's get into today's question. It's a really kind of a different one. Rich, here it goes. I just got to read this. Dear Rich and Dave, I recently hired a consultant, and one of the first things she told me to do was to fire a high-paid front desk member and replace her with two lower-paid, newer ones. This just doesn't feel right to me, and I wanted your advice. Name withheld upon request.
Good move.
I'll tell you something.
Do you know what part of the country this person? I'm just curious. I mean, broadly, Mid-Atlantic, West Coast, Rocky Mountains, Deep South. Clue?
Let's just say up towards the. I'm going to say up towards the. It appears to be up towards the New York, New Jersey area in that whole area there.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think. And look, we've been coaching for many, many, many years. So I think if anyone has a handle on this, we do. I think some coaches think, in order to earn their fee, which is many times way too high.
Oh, by the way, as a real quick aside, I didn't read this part, but as an aside, this person did tell me that they're paying this consultant $50,000 a year.
Yikes!
For this advice. But go ahead, keep going.
But even more along those lines, some coaches and consultants think they've got to come in right away and shake something up, or else they're not. They've got to earn their keep. Justify their value, and the way they do that is not to come in and look at the data and make a long-range plan and strategize and realize that things aren't going to change much the first couple months, but they feel the opposite. They've got to come in and do something big and drastic and shake things up. And sometimes they just think if they just fire a team member, it's going to make everybody else run scared and do a better job, and they'll see instant gratification. And geez, unless that person's horrible, even if they're horrible, we don't believe that coming in and shaking things up to the detriment of a person, a real living, breathing person, without giving them a chance is usually a good idea, don't you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, I want to make it clear, it's extremely rare that we or our coaches would ever do something. We try to work with everybody that's already there, as opposed to shaking it up and firing people right away. But I'm going to say this coach or consultant, whatever she is, sounds like an idiot. And okay, unless the only caveat would be if she came in there and this front desk person that's been there, a seasoned veteran of this front desk, has been there and just is horrible, which it just doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems to me from the message here that this consultant came in is only looking at the math, only looking at the numbers, and say, okay, well, look, this person's being paid way too much. We could fire this person to bring two people in for the same amount, and then you get like double the team power, which is
two incompetent people in.
Well, it's wrong on so many levels because again, we don't have that much information. But I'm gonna assume a few things. I know we shouldn't assume. I know that, but for the sake of this show, we're going to assume a little bit because it sounds like this is a long-term team member that's been there. So when you have a long-term team member, there's a lot of value there. I mean, I'm thinking she knows a lot of the patients. She knows all the protocol, the procedures, how the office works, the culture. It takes
software.
Yeah. It's very it's very expensive to train somebody to get to the point where they know everything about the office and they know all the patients by name, and there's a tremendous amount of value in that right there. So some stupid, I hate to say it, stupid ass consultant that comes in, and again, the only caveat is if this person was truly bad, which I'm not feeling that. But
if they were embezzling. I mean,
right.
that, obviously,
that's story. Totally different.
Even if they're sitting at the front desk picking their nose and they let the phone ring and watch it and don't pick it up. I mean, that's about as bad as you can get, right? Yeah. All the things that you said before, they know the patients, they know the office, they know the protocols. Let's train them instead of just saying they've got to go.
Yes. Yeah. So what I'm saying, so this idiotic consultant comes in and tries to make it seem like they know what they're doing, and they're looking purely numbers, and they say, wow, this person's making X amount of dollars. That's crazy. Do you know that you could fire her and get 2 people in and your practice will be much better? It's just stupid thinking. And it just really, you can tell it angers me to hear that somebody's paying a consultant $50,000 a year for this kind of advice. And yeah, they're ruining a human being's life because of this, some stupid consultant in a back room making this kind of decision. It really, really bothers me a lot.
Right. It's like almost like this consulting team's goal is to get the staff driven right out of there. That's like their first thing. Pick one scapegoat and say you're gone. But let's go to another side of the coin here. As Hogan might say, play devil's advocate.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm not saying this team member should be fired. As you said before, Dave, it's really, really, really rare that we would ever advocate that. But we've also seen in some offices with very long-term team members, 10, 12, 15, 20 years, where the dentist has this policy that every year they get a 10% raise and this amount of bonus, and before long, you've got the world's highest paid dental office manager or hygienist or receptionist or whatever you want to call them, and you're paying them way, way above market value. Then it does start to be a financial issue with the practice.
Well, I think that's another problem. I don't think it's right to get to the point where you're paying a team member, no matter how long he has been there, paying the team member over market value. I mean, Rich, we knew of a practice one time we went into, and there was actually I think it was the office manager that was there for so long she was making more than the doctors.
Oh man, I will never forget that one.
That's just ridiculous. You see, there comes a point where you can't pay more than market value. That doesn't make sense. I don't care how long they've been there.
Or maybe a tiny bit more for someone with great longevity and incredible knowledge. Yes, they should be in the upper percentiles of market value, but you can't be paying ridiculous money just because you've been stuck giving huge yearly raises to someone. That's a problem as well.
Right, but if you're in that situation, don't you think that it would be, let's say you're faced with a problem, like your cash flow is horrible, you've got an overpaid front desk person who's good, but they're being paid too much money. Don't you think the first step would be to approach that person and say, listen, we've got to somehow work together and come to some type of an agreement, but we can't afford you at this rate anymore, and give that person a choice of making a little bit less than firing them. If it comes down to that, if it does come down to the money, give them the choice. Say, look, we can pay you less, or we can let you go. We've got to find somebody else. But I'd rather have you, but we got to pay you 20% less.
Totally agree. And any good consultant should be able to, or at least recommend the resources to, train this person. Look, just because you've been at the job 15 years, it's never too late to learn. You've got somebody who's there, assuming they're loyal, they show up, they do a lot of things right, or else they probably would have been gone a long time ago. Let's get them to be the best they can be. Even if they're the upper echelon of their pay scale, the costs of firing them, now you're facing paying an unemployment situation, bringing in people who aren't trained in your practice protocols, don't know the patients, all these things. There's a huge expense that goes with that also, and probably some lost revenue along the way. This equation doesn't add up.
And not only that, there's no guarantee that the 2 new people you're going to hire are going to be the ones that work out. You could end up going through 4, 6, 8 more team members before you get the right ones. That's going to be a tremendous burden on your cash flow. It comes at a tremendous cost, which, this really angers me a lot. I think this is very, very irresponsible. Unless we're missing something, I think it's extremely irresponsible. And
I agree. And I'll tell you something. This is not going to be a plug for our coaching, although we'd certainly love to work with any practices who are watching this. But it's always been our philosophy that when one of our coaches comes into the practice, you don't shake things up so drastically that everybody's running scared. We've heard stories like this before, Dave. Come in and you fire the whole team. We're going to clean house, or we're going to fire some key people, or this office is old and decrepit. We're going to do a $200,000 remodel job or move to a different location. It's pretty rare that you want to do that early on in the relationship with a consultant. It's just not a wise usage of time, of money, of talent, of any of those things. The best thing to do is work with what you've got to make huge improvements with your team, with the way you're presenting treatment, with the way you're analyzing your data, all those things. But let's not get into any crazy expenses or radical changes right from the get-go. I mean, geez, they're paying this consultant a fortune. Now we're going to throw this into the mix? Wow.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that our coaching style with our coaches who are very well seasoned is 180 degrees different than this company, whoever they might be. It just makes me ill to see this. It's just I feel really bad for a doc throwing $50,000 a year away and getting this type of advice. It's very sad.
I agree. Now, has it ever happened with us or with our coaches that 6 months goes by and somebody is just untrainable or refuses to listen, or a hygienist says, I'm not picking up a perio probe, I don't care what you say? Well, then it might be time, but never like this.
It sounded like this was only done because of the math, because this person's getting paid X. We could get rid of her, hire 2 people for 1/2 X each. And look, 2 have got to be better than 1, right? Well, that's not even necessarily true anyway.
Yep, totally agree. Hopefully you're not in a long-term contract with this consultant, because if they're doing this right off the bat, do you really trust them to do other things in your practice? I would say no.
Somehow get in touch with us. We'll help. Maybe we'll help bail you out. But this coaching relationship or consulting relationship is really, really horrible as far as we can tell from this message. Horrible.
It's got to end, and it's got to end right now.
I say she gets an F. Oh, that's not. Oh, we have to wait for the call for that.
Let's do the call. What do you say?
I don't think this coaching company gets an F, though. I hate to say.
Maybe we'll call them next week.
That'd be great.
If we even knew who they were, we have to find out who they are.
Yeah.
Okay, before we do the call, real quickly, we've been telling you about Fat Merchant, and if you're not using them yet to do your credit card processing, you are losing money every single. I got my Fat Merchant pen here. That's how much I love them. You are losing money every single month because Fat Merchant will save you money on your credit card processing, because they don't charge a percentage overage. A percentage every time someone makes a charge, they don't do that. They charge a flat monthly fee. Changing to Fat Merchant is seamless. You get a free terminal. They're high tech. They know how to work with your practice. Just do it. What are you waiting for? Go to bit.ly/fatmad. Fatmad spelled FATTMAD. So it's bit.ly/FATTMAD, or call 844-860-9951. That's 844-860-9951. Start using the disruptors in credit card processing. Save money, seamless opportunity. Just don't wait any longer. We don't charge you for these podcasts, so now you can make money by listening to them. So why the heck not?
It just seems to me, whenever you and I talk about Fat Merchant, I just don't see any reason why somebody would be listening to our podcast or watching this and we talk about Fat Merchant and they say, well, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. I mean, there's zero reason, because it's like pretty much guaranteed you're going to save money every single month on your credit card processing. So like, you might say, well, no, I'm really not ready for a coaching relationship, or I'm not really thinking about coming to TBSE this year. I can maybe understand that, but not to do Fat Merchant, there's like no reason in the world not to do it. It's seamless, like you just said. You save money starting immediately every single month. Why not do it? It's crazy.
We use them at the Madow Center. We're totally 100%. If you're not going to use Fat Merchant, just tattoo "I throw money away" right on your forehead.
Right
just
there.
do it right now.
That's
I
right.
throw money away. Wear that tattoo. Maybe not, but think about it.
Before we get into the call, real quickly, one more thing. we invite you to try our 3 free crown offer from our friends at Maverick Lab. We've been working with Maverick Lab for quite some time now. They are really fantastic, great quality. The owners we know personally, they will take really good care of you. And to prove how good they are, to prove that, hey, look, I should try them out because I'm gonna get 3 free crowns, and we can evaluate to see if this lab is for me. They're making this offer, and no other lab in the country that we know of would ever even come close to making this offer. That's how confident Maverick Lab is with their work, with their craftsmanship. So take advantage of this offer too. We're giving it to you. They're giving it to you. Go to 3freecrowns.com, and the word 3 is spelled out, T-H-R-E-E. We should probably get the numeral 3 as well, but I don't
Or
think
someone else does.
But for right now, go to 3freecrowns.com. Our friends will take care of you. Try them out. And if you don't like them, you don't have to change, but it'd be good to have them in your arsenal of labs. And they do really great work. We've been with them for a long time. We can totally back them.
It's your choice. You can get Emax, Bruxier, or PFM. So whatever kind of crowns you're popping an impression on today, boom, Maverick will handle you.
How about if you're doing a gold inlay later today? Will they get, probably not part of it, right?
I don't think they'll do the gold inlay. Maybe you'll have to call and arrange something where like you'll pay for the gold. But who's doing gold inlays? Come on.
That was my point.
Emax, Bruxier, PFM covers just about everything you'll be doing.
You ready to do the call, Rich?
What if you're doing a gold foil? Anybody listening to this podcast even know what a gold foil is? I did one on my boards. I did a gold foil.
I think I did one gold foil and it was on my boards. I believe so.
It's funny. That was my first and only one also. It's funny both of us did that because most people were doing cast inlays. I'm not going to go to the boards.
Did you do that on Mom? Did you do a gold foil on Mom?
No, I did not. I did a gold foil on some patient who's been long forgotten. But Marshall did a gold foil on me for his boards.
Serious?
Yep.
You still have it?
No, the endo's doing great.
Oh my God.
I don't still have it. But it was great in its day. That was a long time ago.
But it needed endo ultimately?
No, I'm just teasing.
Okay, I got you. Let's do the call. Ready?
Do the call.
Okay, here we go.
This is Audrey. How may I help you?
Hi, Audrey. I wanted to see if you all are accepting new patients.
Yes, we are.
You are? Okay. I was watching the news a couple weeks ago, and they're suggesting I ask a certain question. Let me see. I have the paper. Just a real quick question. Hold on. Honey, do you have the paper? Do you have the paper in front of you? Okay. Here. Okay. So the question they wanted me to ask: do you all have a soft tissue management program where you look at the gums?
Yes, that would be part of the regular checkup and exam that the doctor does for you.
So what is that exactly?
They look at your cheeks, under your tongue, the back of your throat to make sure that there's no signs of possible like lesions or oral cancer or anything like that. Oh,
great! So that's the soft tissue management program, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Let me. I'm gonna get my calendar in front of me. Can I call you back a little bit later today to see if we can make an appointment? Great.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
What do you think?
Well, I have a couple questions for you. What kind of accent was that? Secondly, what kind of papers recommending you ask a dental office if they have a soft tissue management program?
No, I think it was on. I saw it on TV, and then I wrote it on
Today Show.
It was like a Today Show type show. But wait, no, was that an accent or was that an affect?
I think it was an accent.
Was that? By the way, it's very difficult to find out what the word affect means. When you look it up online, you can't really find
it. I'm telling you what it means. An affect it's like a fake habit, accent, whatever, or maybe like the way somebody dresses or looks, where it's not real, and they're doing it, faking it, trying to put themselves in some kind of higher social strata. I'm pretty sure that's what an affect is.
So was that was an affect then? My accent was an affect, right?
A Southern accent? Well, I guess you could say that.
I don't know what kind of accent it was. It was a weird accent, but
okay. I'm going to defend her in one way, first of all.
You're going to defend her in what? I'd like to know in what way.
Not about the end of the call, because she was horrible. I'm going to defend one thing, and that is not knowing exactly what a soft tissue management program is. Because I was going to say that's one vernacular, but it's very possible that an office has a periodontal health protocol, and they just don't call it a soft tissue management program, so that person wouldn't be familiar with that term. That's my defense. Are you buying it or not?
I'll give you 50% on that. I mean, I think it's very possible that an office could be extremely periodontally aware, but not use that term. Okay, it's very possible. It's very possible. So
that said, you got a live one on there on the phone. They're calling the office. They want information. They want to become a patient. All those things right in place, right in line.
But you remember, I did say, do you have a soft tissue management program? And then I said, I hesitated, and I said, where you check the gums. Check the gums.
Okay.
So
okay. Cool.
I don't know. I think she kind of blew it, but I think that's kind of doesn't really matter because whether she answered that question right. But the bottom line is, I clearly said I'm looking for a new dentist. I've got this question that I was told to ask. Looking for a dentist. I even said, honey, where's the paper or something like that. So that means probably 2 new patients at least right there. 2 new patients.
Anytime somebody says, honey, where's the paper, that means 2 new patients.
I want the paper. But she blew it up. I said, I'll call back later this afternoon. And she said, okay, but she could have said, that sounds great. Or I can, there's a couple of, 2 good options right now. But if you don't have your calendar, tell me your name and number and I can call you back this afternoon. She got no contact information whatsoever. Gone and lost forever.
Lost and gone forever?
Lost and gone forever. Or she's gone and lost forever. Both. I say both.
I like the technique that you just said. If a patient says, can I call back? Say, of course you can, but I'll tell you what, as long as you're on the phone, I'm looking at our schedule, and we actually do have an opening tomorrow at 3. Let's reserve it for you right now. And then, just get them on.
I highly recommend you take it. I highly recommend you grab it.
Highly recommend it. But then, even if the patient says no, or if she didn't do that, she got nothing, and she's leaving it upon the patient's responsibility or lack of thereof to call back. Bad move.
And like we always say, the doc is probably in the back working. Oh, my Madge is so good. She's just the best front desk person ever. But meanwhile, she's screwing everything up.
Yep, the doc's in the back managing soft tissue, and this patient's never coming in.
He's doing an oral cancer screening, managing all the soft tissue.
Hopefully.
So, look, I got to give her an F, I hate to say.
I'm going to say the same. Sorry. Too bad.
Oh, man.
Hey, if you've got a question for the Dental Practice Fixers podcast, or if you want us to call your office, let us know. Podcast@madow.com, info@madow.com. Whatever you want to do, we'd love to hear from you.
That puts another episode in the record books, I think. Until next time, for the Dental Practice Fixers, I am Dr. David Madow, along with
Dr. Richard Madow. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you soon.